Okay guys, the day has finally come to take a look at one of the most anticipated sneakers this year. Now listen, there's a whole bunch of people saying this is the best sneaker ever, it's sneaker of the year, so we need to rein it in and really find out if that's the case. So let's do it. Let's unbox him, and obviously this being such a premium sneaker, this being an A Ma Maniere collaboration, we are in for quite the unboxing experience. It all starts with this A Ma Maniere logo sleeve that's just all over plastic. Once you pull that off, you get this really nice monochromatic box. So the box is entirely this violet ore color, which is kind of like a very dark, dull, faded kind of Bordeaux or maroon color. Of course, you get the Jumpman logo with the flight text, and you also get some A Ma Maniere branding. And what I like the most about this box is that they kept the Jordan 4 speckling. It's super subtle because it's literally all the same color, it's just a different texture. Either way, let's pop them open. Here we go guys, today's pair of sneakers, it's the A Ma Maniere Jordan 4. Finally, in the flesh, the A Ma Maniere Jordan 4, and man, I am excited to get into these. And leading up to the release, I feel like A Ma Maniere had a lot to do. Obviously with the A Ma Maniere Jordan 3 collaboration that they did, and the fact that so many people freaking loved this sneaker, they knew that they had to knock this one out of the park. I also feel like this sneaker kind of came at a little bit of a surprise for a lot of people. Like, you can almost see that reflected in the resale price. You can see that when they dropped, it was kind of level, and once people got to the end of the year and realized that this was the sneaker of the year when it dropped, the price went ballooning up. Now, considering that the Jordan 4 is like the most popular sneaker right now, having A Ma Maniere come through and put their premium touch on it, this was always going to be a hit. And they really did come through with so many incredible details on this pair of sneakers. But before we get into that, let me just quickly give you guys the rundown on the release. So essentially these had two split release dates. The first one was November the 17th, and that was on the A Ma Maniere website. And the main global wider release happened on November the 23rd, and that was of course the Nike sneakers app and a whole bunch of other raffles. And these retail for the pretty hefty £205 here in the UK or $225 out in the US. I think the main sentiment behind this sneaker is how A Ma Maniere really lent more into what they did well on the past collaborations. Of course, that is the premium details and storytelling behind the collaboration. They also lent way more into this signature colorway that they've used on past collaborations as well. They call this color Violet Ore. I believe that's how you pronounce it, but essentially, at least to my eyes, it gives me very Bordeaux, maroon, slightly deep purple vibes. And when you mix that color with the sail and black accents, I think you've got an incredible combination. And something that I'm pretty sure I've never seen before is this incredible material that they've used. To touch, it kind of just feels like a regular nubuck, but when you look at it, it has this almost vintage effect with this discoloring all around it. It really adds a lot more depth to this colorway, and again leans more into that vintage distressed vibe. It definitely feels very nice in hand. It has a very thick, structured feel to it without feeling too stiff. Like, there is still a lot of give when you press down on that material. And I got a hunch that these are going to look better with time. Like, once you get some creases on there, it's only going to lean more into the general design of this sneaker being kind of a vintage look. Now, like I was saying, this is pretty much a monochromatic sneaker in terms of that violet ore color. You find it, of course, on the nubuck material, which covers the entire sneaker. You've got it on the rubber mesh panels, which are on the medial and lateral and at the bottom of the tongue. That color is also on the laces, eye stays, and sock liner. Now, these do have a raw edged theme, which you can mainly see around the ankle area and the tongue. Now, on one hand, I really do like the way that that looks, but on the other hand, I can't help but imagine that for some people, this may end up rubbing into your ankles. Personally, when I was wearing these, they did not rub at all, but I did think it was worth mentioning because, yeah, that's usually the case with a lot of raw edged themed sneakers. Some people, it ends up rubbing their ankles. The tags that are stitched to the top of the tongues have both the Jumpman logo and the A Ma Maniere logo with the flight text underneath. You've also got two metal studs on the outside of the sneaker with the A Ma Maniere logo on it, which I think makes this sneaker look incredibly premium. It's again just showing off how A Ma Maniere has such an attention to detail when they're adding all of these little small premium details to the shoes. The heel tabs come in black and have the Nike Air logo as well as a little hidden message on each of the shoes. And they read, "It's not about the shoes, it's about where you're going." Now, just as they did on their previous collaborations, the premium touches are not just exclusive to the outside of the sneaker, they're also on the inside. And of course, I'm talking about the quilted sock liner material. Unlike the Jordan 3s, these come with a special leather quilted insole as well. We've also got special edition labels that have been sewed into the heel area of that insole. Now, it is worth mentioning that even though I love the way that this sock liner feels and how it adds a premium touch to the sneaker, it will take a little bit of getting used to. I mean, for starters, you can definitely feel the quilted insole as you're walking around, and you also feel the slippery nature of the quilted material on the inside as well. Like for most sneakers, it's just a standard mesh material which grips to your socks a lot more. However, this definitely has that kind of slippery feeling. So I definitely recommend trying to get your right size, because if you end up going up too much and you have a little bit of room in this sneaker, you might find your feet just slipping around a little bit inside. And when it comes to sizing, I've always gone with my true to size when it comes to Jordan 4s, and that fits me perfectly. And then to top it all off, you've got the sail and black midsole, which is a much needed color contrast for this pair of shoes. The combination works tremendously well and I think brings this sneaker together perfectly. So overall, I actually think that the hype on these sneakers is pretty legit. In a world where we pretty much get a new sneaker collaboration every single week, it's nice to see one done to the highest degree. That's everything from the premium details to the nice materials and of course the storytelling behind the collaboration in the first place. It really makes you feel like you've got something special here, which isn't always the case with every collaboration. I mean, a lot of the ones that we've seen this year has just been like a colorway thrown on already existing pair of Jordans or Nike. But I think they killed this pair, and I think you'll agree if you got these in hand and tried them on foot, it's a really special sneaker and definitely one of the best sneakers to drop this entire year. I want to hear it from you. What do you think of the A Ma Maniere Jordan 4, and is this your favorite sneaker to drop this year or not? Let me know down in the comment section. I want to thank you so much for coming through, hanging out for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.